All right.
Hi, this is Jonathan Burns with Tallahassee Nurseries. We're here doing our instructional video series. Today I'd like to talk about planting succulents. We've got a nice selection here for you. Succulents are a pretty big class of plants. The main thing they all have in common is that they can take a lot of sun, a lot of heat, and a lot of dry, so you don't have to worry about watering these things. A lot of them do best in a pot that way so that the soil can drain out and you don't have to do a lot of watering. Let's start off with container selection. You can use just about anything. These plants don't have deep roots, so you can use a pan, a pot. You can get fun with it. Clay pots are always good because they dry out nicely, so that's very good for the succulents. I'm going to use a low dish here today. Soil choice, you definitely want something well drained. Our TN mix is a very good choice. It's got pine bark and peat moss, so that's going to drain well. Get a little start here. Now, when it comes to the plants, just go with what you like. These things are all going to go from spring until frost. Some of them will make it through the winter, some won't. It's best to just pick what you think is pretty. And when it comes to these succulents, we've got tons of choices on color, texture, size. I like to mix it up personally. I want as much contrast as possible with these pots. This is an Echeveria, really nice big texture. I'm going to put him in the middle. I've got a nice tall one here. I'm going to put him off to the side in the back. There we go. Some fine textured things. This is a Stonecrop Sedum. Love the color. It's going to spill over the front. That's going to fill out the pot nicely. Get him in there. And you just want to be a little careful with the root balls. Don't break it up. Get it in there, but you don't have to be crazy delicate with it. Just fit them in there. We'll put extra soil around it. Let's do another one of these in the front. Actually, I like this blue texture, or the blue color right here. That's going to go with our golden very nicely. You can see how you can just come into the nursery, see what you like, mix them together. We've got this guy in here. Kind of wiggle them down in there. And lastly, we're going to use this Haworthia. I've had these come back for me a couple of years in a row, as long as you protect it from the hard freezes. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and add the rest of our soil. You don't need to pack it in tight, you just want to make sure the root balls are covered up. There we go. Now for fertilizing, succulents really don't need a lot, but it is a good idea to have a little bit in there. I recommend using some Osmocote. We carry it, we've got it in these small bottles. It's a slow release fertilizer, so it won't burn your plants. It'll just give them a little bit as they need it. Just sprinkle a little bit in there. For a pot this size, this is about 12 inches across, maybe 2 tablespoons. Just scatter it on the top, and every time you water, a little bit of fertilizer is going to come out and help those plants out. Lastly, just for some extra embellishments, accessories, I do like to do some gravel on the top when we're talking about succulents. It looks pretty, kind of gives you that desert feel, and it also helps dry out the foliage. When the sun hits these rocks, it's going to heat them up and dry out the surrounding area, which is very important for these succulents. So we're going to put some small pebbles around. You know, as I'm doing this, I'm realizing that what I thought was the back side might be the front side. But that's what's so great about these pots. You can just have fun with these things. With their shallow roots, you can do them like I'm doing it by themselves, or you can also mix them in with a bigger pot. If you've got a tree or a shrub in a container and you've got some space around it, you can put a succulent in there at the bottom. It's not going to interfere with the tree's roots. You can get some nice spilling on it. It adds a good bit of interest. And I think I'm going to do some larger rocks with this too. There we go. You will want to water, but I'll leave that to you. Just do a gentle watering. I think we have a pretty nice display here now. Just top it off with a few more rocks. This guy's going to want sun, as much as you can give it, but it doesn't have to be all day. As long as you have bright light, you'll be okay. Water it very infrequently. If it's out in the rain, just leave it alone. The rain will take care of it. And that's it. You've got a low maintenance pot. Thanks.